Here's your ring. Please don't tell me you're giving up on us, Tridge. I love you so much.
Yes, guys, it looks like we've come to an end of an era. It appears that bridge is over. Welcome back to another bold and a beautiful recap. And before we get into today's review, can we just give it up for the actors? I think even though this storyline is a little infuriating, I think the actors are carrying it well. I'm seeing emotion from everyone, and I'm really believing the storyline. So I want to just give it up to all the actors because they're really doing a great job with this storyline. So we open up over at the Cliff House. Thomas stops by and Steffy informs him that Ridge did spend the night and that their parents are upstairs together as they speak. Thomas is very excited. He jumps across the couch and gives Steffy a high five. And they discuss how they never thought that this would happen and how it's going to be huge for their family.
You're still here. It wasn't a dream. You came home.
So they let us know as soon as the show opened that Taylor and Ridge did not sleep together, which I'm very happy because I thought that was very abrupt for them to jump into bed together with things not really being tied up between Brooke and Ridge. So Ridge actually slept in the chair and they show him watching Taylor sleep and saying good morning when the show opens today. They discussed last night and Taylor wants to know if Ridge has any regrets. And he mentions how he now sees how wrong Brooke was for taking Deacon's side, and he wants to focus on Taylor, who has always been there for him and always wanted the best for him. They discuss how happy the kids will be about this, and especially Steffy, who was like a dog with a bone with this whole situation. And Taylor mentions how she was just like Stephanie, which I had forgotten about that, but yeah, that's very true. Stephanie was very much the same way, with scheming and trying to get Taylor and Ridge together at every turn. So they go downstairs to let the kids know the good news, and then we get the big Tridge Family Reunion, and they're hugging and they're very happy to be back together. Taylor lets them know that Ridge is indeed home. Ridge does get his phone back from Thomas, and he sees that there are a bunch of calls from Brooke, and he lets them know that he is going to talk with her to end everything. Meanwhile, Brooke has called Eric to come over because she wants him to tell her that hopefully Ridge stayed at his house last night. Otherwise, she knows where he stayed and she is very worried about that. Eric is disappointed that Brooke had a relapse, but says unfortunately he can't give her any positive news about Ridge. He has not spoken to Ridge and he did not stay at his house. On a totally unrelated note, but this just bothers me, can we please get the same person in wardrobe that dresses Steffy to dress Hope? What is going on here? Why do they insist on dressing the Hope character so frumpy? Why? Look at Steffy. She's looking cute every day in her little sets with her cute little baby bump. And the clothes are just, I know she's supposed to be the more edgier character, but Hope has a fashion line. Why is she dressed like this? I'm sorry, that's just my little rant for today. Drop that in the comments and tell me your thoughts. Have you noticed that, especially since the new Hope has come on, it wasn't as bad with the old Hope, but the new Hope, they dress her very frumpy. Okay, back to the review. We have Hope and Eric leaving, and we have Brooke at home alone, and she's thinking about her time with Ridge, and we get a montage of all their moments together.
After all of these years, let me here, making destiny.
So of course, while she's thinking about this, Ridge shows up and she's so happy at first because she thinks that he's come home to her. She runs and gives him a hug. And he initially acts like he doesn't want to hug her, but he does end up embracing her. But She again apologizes to him for everything that happens, and he begins to act cold towards her. When he does that, she reminds him that he said that they could work through everything, and that he said he loved her, and she remembers it and she thinks about it. And he says, I also told you to keep Deacon out of our lives. Do you remember that? So they once again rehash what happened with Deacon and how Ridge feels that she defended him. Brooke says it wasn't like that. And then she wants to know where they stand. She then notices that he is not wearing his ring any longer and asks where his ring is and what happened last night. Of course, Ridge just kind of stands there and stares and doesn't say anything. And Brooke goes on to say that she loves him, and she asks if he is giving up on them. Please don't. She's basically somewhat begging him at that point to stay with her, saying, please don't give up on us. I love you. And of course, that is where they end it for today. So at this point, it appears that Ridge is going to be going back to Taylor, and we're going to get a bridge break for the time being. Of course, we still have that little nugget to come out that Sheila spiked the drinks, and we have to see how that's going to affect the whole storyline. But that's it for today. Drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Do you think Brooke is going to be able to change Ridge's mind, or will he go back to Taylor and start a life with her? Is this really the end of Bridge, or is this just a brief hiatus like it has been all the other times before? And what did you think of the montage of their moments together since TK came on and took over the role? Did it make you emotional? Did it make you a little bit frustrated with the back and forth that they've continued with this story? Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Have a good night.